Hello, my name is Adriana Garcés. I study a master's in political science. I'm 21 years old and currently live in Buenos Aires, Argentina. As a diplomat's daughter, I've had the opportunity to visit many places around the world and to be surrounded by individuals that belong to different diverse backgrounds, cultures, religions, and races. My educational and professional background have allowed me to learn more from all sorts of unique people and to understand so much more about the world than I could have possibly imagined. One of the truly remarkable things that I've learned in all my years is that in spite of living in an ever-changing world that grows more connected over time, the discourses of individuals and leaders around the world are often trying to unify their communities and countries by highlighting the differences between them and others. I find it baffling that even as individuals, we live through the philosophy of differentiating ourselves from others, thinking that our culture, our country of precedence, or even our race makes us superior to others. I firmly believe that conflicts around the world are attributed to this sense of superiority on the one hand, but also and most importantly to a lack of understanding about what being different actually means. We are afraid to accept what isn't known, and thus we're quick to judge it as something that is wrong. We look forward to spend time with and exchange ideas with those that have a similar way of thinking, yet we run away and close ourselves from experiencing and learning from those who differ, because we simply believe that there is nothing left to learn. Studying the social and cultural background of my country of origin, Ecuador, has allowed me to understand how the overcoming of these differences can have a deep impact and drive important change both locally and internationally. Ecuador is a South American country that has a little more than 14 million inhabitants and is divided into 4 regions, around which 14 different indigenous nationalities are distributed, each having their own sets of traditions, languages, and culture. In the latest years, Ecuador has been declared a pluricultural and multinational country as stated in its 2008 constitution, but it has not always been that way. Throughout the years, both highlands and lowlands indigenous groups have strived for lands and government recognition, but in spite of working towards achieving the same goals, their cultural differences and different ways of interpreting their struggle kept them apart and weak until the 90s. On the one hand, the lowlands groups view the land as the essence of their existence and view governmental recognition as the only path to achieving sovereignty for their actions and preservation of their cultural values. On the other hand, the highlands groups view lands as the means through which they could earn a living and as an instrument for their day-to-day life, and they saw governmental recognition as a path to achieving equality. In this sense, it was only through the overcoming of these cultural differences that they got together to form the Ecuadorian Confederation of Indigenous Nationalities, more known as Conclave, which would later become the most important indigenous movement in Latin America, given to the fact that no other movement in the region has managed to get together in spite of territorial and cultural barriers in a national way. It has already gained political representation and negotiation power, reinventing the political opportunities for the people that they came to represent. In this sense, and although its imperfections, I thought of this as a perfect example for the little changes that the understanding of equality instead of superiority in a cultural background as the rule of thumb could make in the world.